A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Nerf Secrets Revealed. So here we go, part 2 of 4 of, well, this is mainly what I'm just going to be doing right now. I'm mainly just going to continue giving away elements that practically characterized the movie, Nerf Secrets Revealed, Bolts of Intrigue. Now, I could pretty much just have a million reasons why I should just simply explain them all in detail, in depth, and in full tilt. But I'm pretty much just going to make it simple for everybody out there who wants to watch my content out there. And of course I already discussed probably one of the biggest main elements of mine that I had put together for the movie itself. But I'm going to go ahead and get on with 3 others. I'm going to talk about the bolts of lightning. Basically the bolts of lightning that you may have heard and or seen in the movie itself, which somehow summon the Nerf blasters. Now, I've already talked about the long arm itself, based on its usage of the Invisibullet, which was probably one of the biggest parts to the movie itself that really made the movie probably one of my best projects yet, in terms of Nerf Secrets Revealed related content. But, of course, if you notice both this and the Negotiator, they were both in the same spot, in a small parking lot in Spazland Park. Basically, I heard a bolt of lightning, and you would have heard it as well, because of course there was the usage of the classic thunderclap sound effect, which had been used countless times over the last 30 years or so, in a lot of movies and otherwise. But anyways, these so-called bolts of lightning that summon these blasters, they're not of really any origin that I can practically identify at this point. Though, once I probably get to work on what will be known as the sequel to this film, I might give away even more details than what's possible about it. But in any case, I feel like I should just disclose a few things about the bolts of lightning that I feel like are very, very unique, in contrast to actual bolts of lightning. So, the bolts of lightning, which I tend to call them the summoning bolts, if you will, these bolts just simply summon these blasters. It is unknown exactly where they originally came from, but I feel like I've got my, well, sources on the whole thing itself. Maybe it's Zeus granting me the extra power and firepower, that is, to just really take on the battlefield in a single pitch. But at the moment, I guess I'm not as confident or as optimistic about really disclosing or even discussing certain points of view that I have on the summoner bolts around, but whatever the case may be, I just feel like it's going to be a really good heck of a ride around here. But, of course, even though the Helios and Quadrad blasters, they were not really summoned by bolts of lightning, if you had seen in the film, but of course, that is something I did not know. But I could simply speculate how this and the Quadrad had been summoned by those summoner bolts and were just spawning in front of me in certain areas of the park that I went to, including the shaft with the picnic tables, as well as the frisbee golf cage. Of course, those were the 2 spots that you've seen firsthand where I found both the Helios and the Quadrad, but whatever other place in the park that I end up going to, because after all, if you've seen the movie itself, then of course I actually did say that I should go out to the park one day to do some target practice, to put the Invisibullets to good use, and who can forget about the fact that, well, there might be other surprises out there just waiting for me. But if you've read the plot line in the description box below, just after I had released the film itself, then you would have seen that first off, I would have had to figure out a way to get home without, well, compromising what was known as my position, because after all, the story is set to continue. And I probably wouldn't want to waste my time, I guess, just fiddling around doing the little diddly-daddly stuff. So, I mean, getting lost in La La Land can be quite a distraction, but I sure as heck know how well I'm able to manage all of this stuff firsthand. But For now, though, I could say for sure that the story itself will continue on in full detail and full tilt, and, well, anything else that I had just mentioned earlier in this episode. But whatever happens, of course, I do hope that these summoner bolts, later on, if I ever continue the film franchise of Nerf Secret Revealed itself, I do hope they bring me a lot more other things out there, including tactical vests, as well as other, like, say, magazines. Every time I hold out my hand, you know, it's similar to the ways in which someone would shout Shazam and then get blasted by a lightning bolt that would transform good old Billy Batson into Shazam, but I guess that's besides the point again. I'm just simply saying, these summoner bolts, I'm hoping that, well, if I ever do continue this film franchise itself, I'm hoping that whatever happens, that these summoner bolts do more good for me than what's ever possible. But for now, I've got 2 other parts that I want to go ahead and talk about later on in Nerf Secret Revealed. So if you want to see more, go down to my channel, along with, well, the other 2 parts. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.